A wonderful good morning, everybody. God Shadow here, playing Modern, and I've just had a look at this spoiled, sweet Nicol Bolas. Certainly is going to see standard play, I think. It's right on curve, 4 mana, 4/4 flying, which already is a good rate, you know. You think of Restoration Angel and maybe even Lightning Angel that we've played before. And of course, those have other abilities, but Nicol Bolas always is at least a 2-for-1 when it comes down, and therefore it's not bad. And then if you have extensive amounts of mana, you can also flip it. And here maybe the coffers thing comes in. Maybe you can then cheat a little bit on mana and flip it earlier. And then Nicol Bolas becomes a planeswalker, which I really like. Super powerful as always. Yeah, so that's just my 2 cents here because I just saw it and thought I was gonna rent these cards here. Alright, we're back on Blue Moon for today. We've switched a couple of cards in our sideboard that we haven't been really satisfied with last time. On the one hand, I threw out the Filigree Familiar. That wasn't, it wasn't bad, but not really the best in the deck. And instead of it, we put Ensnaring Bridge in because that's our best answer to something like Boggles, sometimes Affinity, Eldrazi, all the big stuff, even Tron. Although Tron is not, does have more ways to get rid of the Ensnaring Bridge than the other mentioned decks have. And then for the control matchups and everything that's super grindy, but we don't expect a Colligan's Command in our deck, in our opponent's deck. There we can play Treasure Map, which of course makes our draws a little better. And then it flips, so it pumps our mana and will draw us 3 cards. So overall, like basically 4-card engine that also makes our draws better. So I put that one in. Also, the flipped land isn't legendary, therefore 2 copies aren't bad. And we can also, with P and Kieran Lalar, we can also sacrifice the treasure tokens to P and Kieran instead of drawing a card, depending on what we need in that given situation. And the usual stuff. Without Shackles, Relic of Progenitus, and Spell's Guide, everything that was good before and hopefully will be good again. The metagame, yeah, how's the metagame looking right now? So, although the coverage yesterday of GP Vegas was somewhat fractured in pieces, and, well, let's say, wasn't perfect, wasn't optimal, excuse me, but nonetheless, you could see that almost any given featured rounds during the first rounds had Eldrazi in them, and that might of course be a bias of whomever decides to put the feature matches in, but it already looked like Affinity and Eldrazi were going to be huge. And Eldrazi also won against the turn 1 Blood Moon in one particular round. Yeah, and that's the thing, like you can't rely on Blood Moon to win against Eldrazi. They do have too many ways of getting a color source with either Mind Stone or Wastes. In those matchups, I do see Blood Moon more of a anti-Cavern of Souls card, and then we're trying to lock them out. with Ensnaring Bridge. The only problem that remains then is Walking Ballista, but we do have Engineered Explosives to get rid of Walking Ballistas. So we do have our tools, we just need to find them in the right order. So where's our stuff? 2 more P currents for the sideboards. Might be a little overkill, but I was never not fond of P current LR, so let's jump. Jump. Yep, that's the video that I uploaded yesterday with the more than unfortunate loss to Jazz Guy and winning all other rounds. Also, of course, Ensnaring Bridge isn't the worst against humans, but we have to be a little bit careful that we don't make ourselves too vulnerable to Athalia in the humans matchup. And I think since it's so super aggressive, that the Dark Shackles actually isn't a good card in the matchup, and that we're on the play. I think we need to ship again. Okay, Thoughtseize, probably Mardu instead of Hollow One. And if this is Mardu, then indeed chipping the electrolyte there wasn't our best decision, but we need more lands, otherwise this hand's not functional. Right. Of course, at least we're hedging a little bit against the Blood Moon. And also we could make some of their discard spells awkward. Space Snare actually isn't bad. Of course, he's following it up with Lingering Souls. We could have a look at his hands, but we could also try to just get rid of the Spell Snare, because he's taken that anyway with the Inquisition. Oh, perfect. So this way, at least, we're making a little bit of core advantage up. Oh, okay. Never mind. Good top deck. But we needed the help of our deck to just stay in the game. Now he also has a really strong hand. What do we get post-board? Post-board we get Pia Incurrence and Keranos, we get Engineered Explosives, we get Relics. Liliana is certainly not good for us. Maybe treasure maps, but probably not. Yeah, so opponent had a perfect draw here. Absolutely perfect. All right. So Remand is good in the matchup. Spell Snare, Fog Bolts, all good. Daring Click is not great. We want this, throwing out the Blood Moons. Having this, and to open these, I would assume. Probably just one Spell Snare. They only have two cards that we can spell snare and that we do care about, and those are Pyromancer and Collective Brutality. So I'm not playing. He's taking the Lightning Bolt, I assume. That costs a mage, okay. The only thing that we were able to play. Maybe he doesn't have a Pyromancer in hand here right now. So don't think there's any reason to shock on the steam vents here. If he goes Inquisition and we need to bolt his face in response, that's also awkward. Probably not worth the 2 life here. The only reason I could see him doing that would be if he plays Pyromancer and then Inquisitions us. But he didn't play Pyromancer on turn 2. Yeah. Alright, deciding that he needs to get rid of our stuff. Discards a card, sure. Discard the launching notes. Two turns till Sash Revision. And that Liliana definitely is a pain in the ass. So we're gonna bolt it because we only have access to one red mana. Hope that we do draw something good now. And something good also includes just a land, which we hopefully can find. To, oh my god. So we do have Piankir and Lar to like be somewhat of a roadblock. I cannot believe it. So we just need to somehow get rid of the Goblin Rebel Massa. I don't even care about the Liliana if we can slam the Karens next turn. I'm definitely taking both blocks here, since Liliana hasn't ticked up yet. Sure. Oh, I think I forgot to bring in the Lingering Souls, the Engineered Explosives. So we're getting rid of Liliana. Pink Current's gonna be a 2/2. Probably block the Goblin Rebel Massa if he attacks. Ancestral Vision is 2 more turns away. Okay, makes it a little easier. Counter, return. Perfect. Okay, we're not too far behind yet, and we're refueling our hand next turn. And if we manage to find, we have 2 Fog Bolts and 2 Electrolyzers. And although I talked about it, we didn't take in the Energy Explosives, which is a mistake. I think I would want 1. Not Lingering Souls, no. Realm Master. So we're gonna block the Goblin here. Take 4 to ensure that we can kill the Rebel Master next turn. Come on. I can't believe it. Cannot believe it. Alright. So we could of course lightning bolt the Rebel Master now. And then still have Logic Knot up and Keranos. Oh no, that's not correct. That is an incorrect assumption. He probably has at least a Reveler in his hand. At least. So are we waiting one more turn here? Yeah, feels like we shouldn't be attacking here. And we also shouldn't play the Keranos. Want to be able to protect our life total a little bit. And of course, stop a potential Bedlam Reveler from coming down. Still gonna bolt it because we probably need to get rid of 2 of the Lingering Souls. Probably, there's Bedlam Reveler. And I honestly think that he's expecting us to counter this and has a second copy in hand. Yeah. So that was the correct choice there. Now we at least get to counter the additional copy of Lingering Souls. And then we can activate Desolate Lighthouse at the end step. This way we can't do that anymore. And he obviously still has something in hand that he didn't want to discard here. He could have also drained this, but he didn't. Yeah. We need to stop this from happening. All right. Hopefully we survive this turn for Keranos to come into the play. That would mean that he isn't allowed to find removal here, and he also still has Faithless Looting in his graveyard. There's removal, and that should spell our death here. Yeah, we drew way too many lands, all of those Ancestral Visions, without drawing a Fog Bolt or an Electrolyze. And our opponent's just drawing insane both games. Alright, off to round number 2. If you're wondering about who's having that stupid conversations in the background, those are my roommates, flatmates. Alright. That was not so good. Okay. Harvest Pyre, like we had so many outs last game. Harvest Pyre against the Bedlam Revelers. Alright, looks like a Death Shadow deck. Alright, so we have 2 bolts, interesting. Some would have to hope that he doesn't have a fetch land here to grow Death Shadow to 4/4. Okay, never mind. Oh, come on. So he needs his Death Shadow to be an 8/8 in order to Battle Rages here. there's a pyromancer. Okay, we're gonna kill the pyromancer here for 1. We could potentially have lethal if he can't deal damage to himself this turn. And we can go end of turn, electrolyze. Of course, he could also have additional bolts, but can't really play around that. And he would have also probably yeah, over the shadow. Okay. So we have a couple of chances here. We're just looking for that's fog bolt. Click isn't bad either. We also have 3 potential blockers. He probably is stuck with a couple of Snapcaster Mage is also fine, of course. With a couple of fatal pushes in his hands. Alright, now we have lethal. And only Inquisition or Lightning Bolt saves him here. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do this in response to the trigger, because he could be drawing something good. Alright, so Relic shuts down Traverse. Engineered Explosive is certainly our best card here. Blood Moon, also not the worst. I don't... And I think the bridge should be good. Excuse me. So he's playing Pyromancer. We definitely don't need Remount. On the draw, a Blood Moon could be too slow, because we can't really handle his big threats. ensnaring bridge is pretty good though. One spells it. Okay, explosives is good. And we also can bring them back. Okay. So you didn't play discard spell on turn 1. So maybe we're running into Young Pyromancer here, or Collector's Brutality. So I'm willing to risk losing our Engineered Explosives here if it prevents him from playing a Young Pyromancer that we won't be able to answer otherwise. Okay. Interesting. So we have Opt and Spell Snare as our options here, and our Logic Knot's gonna go work for one only anyway, so I'm gonna put down Engineered Explosives here. He could also be playing Golfs, by the way, or Grim Flayers, therefore. We haven't seen them yet, but... And he's always fetching for black, black, red, red, which is a little awkward. Okay, against Liliana, it would have actually worked to keep up the Logic Knot, but that's also the only card that would have been relevant against. Oh man. Bridge is probably going to be good at some points. But right now... Souls. Okay. Getting back the Street Wraith. Milling over 2 Thoughtseizes, which is pretty okay. Now let's have a look at what he's going to draw. I'm going to get Talus Tracker. Interesting. So if we go Island, Snaring Bridge, with 4 cards in hand, 5 with the card we're going to draw. So he wants to go the value route here with tireless trackers, with the Liliana, all that kind of stuff. We're taking 5 from the Death Shadow, that's fine. Do not mind that. Okay, so it's counter and bounce. And then next turn we can go deploy the Ensnaring Bridge. We didn't want to draw a card because of our Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, do you have a discard spell? Nope. It's good. So it can't attack anymore. We're transforming to a prison deck here. And we do have a Logic Knot up to get rid of Liliana. Lingering Soul is still somewhat annoying, but I do think that we can get rid of Lingering Souls if we really want to. Could of course also just counter the Lingering Souls and oh, he actually has the Colorgon's command, interesting. But he probably doesn't have a lot of them. Okay. Yeah, probably was his only Colorgon's command there. So yeah, probably the third and fourth copy of P and Current Lore in the sideboard isn't worth it, and we need to think about something that really fights well in the Mardu matchup, although I'm not sure yet what that might be. Could be playing a Thornets here. With treasure map we have like 4 colorless sources. What else? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Alright, I don't want him to loot. He's apparently playing some Boros Texas or something. I'll draw the Boros Texas. So we're gonna kill the Thopter. Did he... Man, 2 Simian Spirit Guides? What the fuck's going on here? Yeah, it looks to me like would still be keeping up our House Spire. Oh, that he doesn't have a play, and that we get to our stuff in time. Super lag there. Okay, Eldrazi Displacer. Cannot displace a lot yet. Okay. Alright, So we're basically facing 3 power on board here, which we should be able to handle. Can block the Leonin Arbiter. And this makes it somewhat easy. Restoration Angel is something that we need to consider. Therefore I'm just gonna go and hunt them down here. Hunt them down. Yeah, feeling pretty good now. Having Cryptic in hand, he doesn't have Caverns, maybe he's not even playing Caverns. And we have 2 Ancestral Visions coming up. That's what you get if you want to have the most broken of turns. Is it already time? Doing everything not to have to discard here. Another one. So that's it this time. Sure. Alright. So he's actually just playing Eldrazi Texas with the addition of with the addition of 4 Simian Spirit Guides to make his hands faster. So Karina's gonna come in third, P and Kieran's also gonna come in. Blood Moons aren't super bad because they are playing a lot of I'm sorry. I was thinking about it. What to board here because it's not a usual, not a common list. I think Ancestral Visions might not be really good here. I want to have Vidal and Shackles. I feel like I also want to have Explosives, but Snaring Bridge is probably better. Correct. Just 1 Blood Moon. Then we have the Thopters who can attack through an Ensnaring Bridge. We have, yeah, feel like this might be okay. Okay, at least no broken turn 1, whatever. The good thing about Remand in this matchup is that if he plays Cavern, we can cycle. Don't even know if I want to have the Logic Knot. We already have 3 counter spells in hand. The only way, like, I mean, the Logic Knot's not bad, of course. The Remands just buy us time, but that should be sufficient to get to a point where we have like either Snapcaster available or Lightning Bolts, stuff like that. And the Logic Knot always dead as soon as they find a Cavern of Souls. Though they wouldn't be playing Caverns, of course, because they have like 500 creature types in their deck. Yeah. And Rest in Peace, interesting. Countering the Rest in Peace, killing that thing, and then opting. We're flooding out a little. Ooh, that's beautiful. That indeed is beautiful. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play without shackles. Only have 3 islands in play right now. But if he wants to resolve the Thought-Knot Seer, then we can harvest by the Thought-Knot Seer, maybe draw something good, maybe don't draw something good. But I wouldn't think that he boarded something against without shackles, and that should already take a huge amount of his cards out. Alright. We're still gonna kill this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. And then we're discarding a thing. So this is our 4th island. There's another Reality Smasher. Sure. Could be blocking with a One-Ring Funeral, but don't see a reason to do so. Man, does he have another one? That's insane. Alright, let's take over 1. 3 Reality Smashes, really. That's really something. Yeah, I mean, why not, right? We should have done something differently here. He's playing the Thought-Knot Seer. I should have played the Fetch, because then we could Snapcaster Mage and Harvest by the Thought-Knot Seer. This way we only get 2 opt, which is not bad, of course, but also not great. Dum 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 dum. Oh, counter draw. Could of course also play counterbalance. Oh man, I love the Dying Shackles. It's such a great card. Oh man, that's just great. So we could be attacking with Reality Smasher. I mean, he has a couple of ways to do something against it. Therefore, we're probably not going to do it. Because if we go tap his team with Cryptic and Snapcaster, and he goes Eldrazi Displacer, and then next turn he taps it and then attacks for 9 or something, that of course wouldn't be great. He does have Shepherd Dooms though, and could pump his team. We can also go Harbor Spire here. Let's see, 2, 4, 3, miss 1 land. Yeah. Think that the late game should favor us. Or Resto Angel. Cast out. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. This Laka. Oh man. Oh damn it. Shit balls. Shit balls, people. Yeah. I assume we need to let that resolve. He's obviously taken the shackles. Makes our board state somewhat worse. Not gonna lie. Oh, it was a great draw here by him. For him. So if we let this resolve without doing anything against it, then he can kill our ghost or Wandering Funeral. So now we're gonna go Snapcaster Mage, Harvest Pyre, and the Thought-Knot Seer. Maybe draw something fancy. 1, 2, 3. And probably Electrolyze. Oh, Lightning Bolt. No. Then we can triple block one of the Reality Smashers and take 7. That's not great, of course, but it will keep us in play. Okay, that makes it a little easier here. So if we go Blood Moon, to cut off his Shepherd Dunes, and then we play Piankiran Lar. We do have 5 power on board. If he doesn't draw a removal spell, we can quintuple draw block the Reality Smasher. Of course, found the freaking Eldrazi replacer. Right that turn. So our opponent has drawn exceptionally good. Really, really, really good. Yeah, we could triple block the Arbiter. Could also just block it with Piankiran Lar. We need to get rid of something here. No, we'll just block one. Take 5. 1, 2, 4. One land short. Okay. So we cut ourselves off of getting the Real Smasher with our Vidalcan Shackles. But we can indeed take the Eldrazi Replacer. And we still have the ability to utilize our Piankiran Lar in correlation with our Thopter token to blow something up. So I think yeah, he only needs to get 1 damage through. If he drew a Path to Exile here, then we're just dead. No, come on. That is somewhat annoying again. I think our opponent has drawn crazy good. Crazy good. Not all the time, but definitely in between. Like he chained 3 Reality Smashers and then had the cast out to take our thing. Yeah, I think we're more likely to win this game through just burning our opponent out. Oh yeah. What is going on, guys? Blue prison here. Love it. Since I don't know what he's playing exactly, I can't tell if, like, he does have outs. Probably still has cast outs. Alright. Alright. We're getting closer. Yeah, cannot attack. Now he's sandbagged. Oh. Staying at a solid 3 cards in hand here. Alright. What an insane game. What an insane game. Alright. Cool. That was fun. Man, I love this deck. If we find something to fill the top slots, especially Keranos and Pian Kiranlar in the sideboard, then I think it's really good. Like, it could really be. It does have potential. Let's put it like this. It does have potential. You also probably just want to play 1 engineered explosives and 3 relics, I would think, because the graveyard hit is just so important. And then maybe a better skull for these kinds of matchups. It's not a great hand, it's also not a bad hand. Being on the draw here with the spell snare, of course, somewhat okay. And this certainly is not a good matchup for us. Hopefully drawing a land. Ancestral Vision. So the thing is, if we don't play Ancestral Vision here, he knows what's up and that we have a spell snare. Good that he reviewed the up there. That way. Okay. This certainly is not a good matchup for us. We do have the spell skies, but we don't really have means of getting our life back. And racing also seems to be somewhat difficult. Blood moons, of course, are just dead. So I don't know. Spell are great, of course. But not every matchup is about spell snares. And we apparently aren't drawing any lands. This Goblin Guide has been so bad for us. So bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking good. He's gonna Skullcrack us or something. Oh my god. Alright, this is gonna go out. These are gonna get thrown out. Could see engineered explosives as additional removal. Without shackles better than Ancestral Vision in this matchup? Probably not. Okay. Not having a creature here on turn number 1. It's kind of good. Remand is good against the Rift Bolt, but if he follows the Rift Bolt up with Eidolon, then we really have a problem. Therefore, I'm not gonna grab the Remand there. Alright, we do have mana for Pioneer and Lar. He hasn't seen that we are playing this card, therefore he might have boarded out his Searing Blaze. Might have also not done that, but Swift Spear. So, of course, he just drew Swift Spear and did not. There's another Rift Bolt. That is just awesome. So we could counter the Rift Bolt. We could also just jump in front of the Swift Spear. That's probably gonna deal at least 3 damage to us. Man, that Swift Spear was a really good draw there. He also has a land drop, which means if he does have a Searing Blaze, so I'm actually thinking about just letting this resolve. Because we only have 4 mana or greater spells here. Therefore, we're not gonna fetch for the bolt. Take 2 off of Swift Spear. This is somewhat risky, I'm not gonna lie. But we need to have a little bit of help. Don't think that we can otherwise win this. Interesting. So 8, he doesn't have a white source yet, so he would need to have 3 damage spells in our turn. Let's attack first. And the Eidolon should be actively working against him. So Logic Knot can still counter something and is bigger than 4 if we want it to be. Okay, just attacking with a Swift Spear here. And of course we're gonna block that with a Thopter. No doubt, no doubt. Could have also double blocked it. Oh, oh, that's interesting. He went after P and Kiranlar. Okay. So could be attacking for 3. Could of course also try to get rid of the Monastery of Swift Spear. He's also attacking for 3. He's taking damage of his thing. So what happens if we just attack with Thopter here? Man, I would like to have a cryptic command. Still have 3. Another P and Kiran would also be good. Okay, so Molten Rain's actually gonna deal damage to us. And although we don't really care about the Zolfa Falls, we are going to counter it because of the damage. This is 5. Can make it 6 just to make sure. So we're not taking damage here. He goes down to 10. We do have a Fork Bolt in hand. And now we can cleanly kill the Monastery Swift Spear in our turn. If we choose to. That would put us down to 4, of course. Yeah, we need to keep the Snapcaster Mage around. So we go to 4. We've only drawn lands again. Another one. Sure. So now Cryptic. Now Cryptic would be great. Give us a Cryptic. Of course we can't opt anymore unless he attacks us. No, that's the Cryptic. No. Oh, that's so unlucky. No. Oh man. Sadly, our Snapcaster Mage doesn't have first strike, otherwise we would receive priority. Could get the opt and then bounce the thing. Alright. Not gonna lie, there are certain matchups that aren't good for Blue Moon. And of course, I mean, you can play Sun Droplets. That's actually a pretty good card to have against Blue Moon, against Burn. But it also, you know, depending on where you need to mulligan aggressively for it, because if it comes down like on turn 3 or turn 4, then it's probably just gonna be too slow. Yeah, looks like a keep. So, I mean, I of course want to use the Ancestral Visions, and I'm not gonna do that, but we cannot bolt something here on turn number 2, in case that's important. Utaba. Okay, apparently it wasn't important. Not too important, at least. Yeah, let's have a look first at what he's gonna do. Like if he's a Mardu deck, oh, he needs to kill. Ah, he's a jump deck. Alright. John Shadow you. 5-color Shadow. Possibly. So he needs to have a discard spell now. We're just trying to find another land. Come on, land. Yes. Alright. Pian Kiran Lar should give us the time that we require to hold off the Tarmogoyf. He actually drew a basic. Not bad. Not bad. Oops. So we're gonna let him attack for one more turn, and then we're gonna block his Goyf and bolt it. Interesting that so many Death Shadow players are around again. Okay. So he apparently had forgotten about the Ancestral Vision and then reconsidered. So again, we do have the Ensnaring Bridges. He might bring in Lingering Souls, he might not be. Remand isn't important up until we know we want this. Definitely Relic. So he's a traverse list, therefore he can just aggressively fetch for his 2 basics. Of course, Blood Moon's still doing a certain job, but this is probably better on the draw. Could of course also go. No, a treasure map should be too slow. We do have a very redundant hand. Except for the engineered explosives, I don't think there's anything good to take here. I'm doing this now because he could decide to stubborn denial our opt in order to keep us off of 2 mana. And that, of course, would be our death. Therefore, I'm changing the play pattern a little. There's a huge Goyf already. And apparently doesn't care. He's just fetching for the rainbow colors here. So Avaspire gives us the means to get rid of Tarmogoyf potentially. But if possible, we're trying to raise him, I think. If we find a land, okay. Goyf by itself isn't too scary. I think I'm gonna play the click now, have a look at his hand first, decide on whether or not he can grow the Death Shadow. And he cannot. But the Liana of the Veil is problematic to a certain degree, and he also has Traverse. Only 2 types in his graveyard though. And even if we block the Death Shadow, Yeah, he's gonna kill our... I think we're taking the traverse and just block the shadow. Just to give us a little more time. As I said, like if we draw a fetch land or something, then we can indeed kill the Tarmogoyf, though he does have Stubborn Denial, so it's not so viable. The Incurrent Law is certainly our best card here. Of course, we could also be drawing into... Alright. Cryptic Command isn't that great yet. So I think I'm gonna have a look first with the opt, and then decide on whether or not I want to block. And this is certainly something that we want to have. If he taps out for Liliana, then we could bounce the Goyf. Yeah, I think we're taking 5 for now. Then we go to 6. This one's gone, this one's gone. 2 cards that we know about in hands. Okay. Yeah, that was somewhat expectable. So the most likely course of action here is we discard the Cryptic Command to Liliana, because we cannot protect it against Stubborn Denial anyway. Okay, so he has another Stubborn Denial. Really need a land now. It's exactly at 4 for the Death Shadow. Yeah, I'd expect him to have another Stubborn. This is too good to just not be considered. All right, so let's think about this. I think we have the tools. We just need to figure it out. So we could block the Death Shadow or Tarmogoyf, kill Liliana next turn. If Liliana's ticking up, then we need to discard the Lightning Bolt. If we Explosives for 1 here and he Stubborn Denials it, then we could just kill Liliana, block 1, and play the Ensnaring Bridge the next turn. I think this happens anyway. Don't really mind. Now we could also just wait. It's super unlikely that he draws a third stubborn denial here. But if he draws removal spell, yeah, I think we need to wait. If he just goes discard and chips priority without removing something. Okay. I think the Thopter is the pick here because, well, if he drew a land, then we're just dead. But can't really play around that. Okay, we're at 2 life. Now we have the Academy Ruins. Well, that at least gives us the opportunity. He drew another stubborn denial. Unreal. Unreal. Whoops. Okay, gonna cancel this real quick. Because we actually can get our things back now. So this is 4. And then we have engineered explosives to get rid of all this stuff. Alright. So I'm putting an upkeep stop here. So we could activate Academy Ruins, get back engineered explosives, but I don't, like right now, I don't see how that helps us. Therefore, we're just gonna draw additional cards. Traverse, sure. Snapcaster Mage. Collective Brutality. Alright, so next turn he's coming with Snap Brutality. So we need to counter that. Therefore, I'm making sure that we are going to draw something that we can deploy here. For 1. I want to have this collective brutality out of his graveyard. That's why I let him play the Snapcaster Mage. Alright, Snapcaster is gonna go. I assume Harm Spy is gonna go because we're just cycling around anyway, and Op's gonna go. And then we're putting an upkeep stop. Activating this onto engineered explosives. He's gonna fetch for a dried arbor here. Just kidding. Put the upkeep stop to be gone again. This for 2. And then we can clear the board next turn and start attacking with our Wandering Fumarole if things go our way. There's also Harvest Pyre, which isn't relevant yet. Could become relevant at some point. We need 4 mana for all of our engineered explosives anyway. Street Wraith. Alright, let's do it. So he played the Street Wraith in order to prevent us from coming in with Wandering Fumarole. But we do have a plan B. Chipping in with Thopter tokens here. Is there any reason not to play pink here? No, I don't think so. This way we do have lethal next turn. So he only has these 2 draw steps. Alright. What a fun freaking league, guys. What a fun league. Hope you enjoyed it. It was only a 3-2, but it was very enjoyable, I thought. And so I'm pretty happy with the main board. Shapes out really well in many matchups, not in everyone obviously, but so I'm still inclined to play the 3rd Piankiran Lar over the 4th Cryptic, and then throw these out the window and get something else in there. Treasure Map could be a Sun Droplet. That depends on taste. Really happy with Engineered and Academy Ruins as a combo, and yeah, with the rest as well. What an awesome deck. Feels like a gimmick deck by now. So hope you enjoyed it and have a good time. Have a good weekend, guys.